Little Red Riding Hood, retold by Fischer Lee. Once there was a little girl who loved flowers. Her mother had made her a beautiful red cape and hood to keep her warm, and every time she went out, the little girl would wear it. That was why the people called her Little Red Riding Hood. One day, Little Red Riding Hood's mother said, "Darling, I have just baked a loaf of bread and an apple pie. We'll put them in your basket, along with some fresh butter, honey and cream. Then you can take them to your granny's house on the other side of the woods. Granny is not feeling very well, and she needs good food to make her strong again." So Little Red Riding Hood put all those things in her basket. She covered them with her embroidered cloth, and off she went. "Goodbye, Mother! Goodbye, pussykins!" "Don't forget," called her mother, "stay on the path and don't talk to strangers." "Yes, Mother!" called Little Red Riding Hood over her shoulder, but she wasn't really listening. As Little Red Riding Hood walked through the woods, she spotted some pretty flowers growing amongst the tree, and she left the path to pick them for her grandmother. Suddenly, a big, bad wolf appeared. He thought Little Red Riding Hood would be nice to eat. "Who are you, and where are you going with that basket, little girl?" he asked in his nicest voice, with his sweetest smile. "I'm Little Red Riding Hood, and I'm going to visit my old granny who is ill in bed," said the little girl, forgetting that she must not talk to strangers. "Oh," said the wolf, thinking that a granny would be nice to eat too. "And where does she live?" "In the cottage on the other side of the woods," replied Little Red Riding Hood. "Goodbye, sir, I must be on my way." And away she hurried. The crafty wolf ran ahead of Little Red Riding Hood to Granny's cottage and knocked on the door. "I'm Little Red Riding Hood," he called. "I've come to visit you, Granny." "Come in, my dear," called Granny. So the wolf came in and pounced on her, but Granny jumped out of bed and locked herself in the closet. The wolf put on Granny's bonnet and glasses, climbed into bed, and pulled the blankets up to his chin. Little Red Riding Hood came in. She thought Granny looked strange. "Granny," she said, "what big eyes you have." "All the better to see you with," said the wolf, trying to sound like Granny. And Granny, what big ears you have," said Little Red Riding Hood. "All the better to hear you with," said the wolf. "Granny," said Little Red Riding Hood, rather frightened, "what big teeth you have." "All the better to eat you up," roared the wolf. The wolf leaped out of bed and started chasing Little Red Riding Hood around the room, knocking over the furniture. Granny hammered on the closet door, and Little Red Riding Hood shouted for help. This is not good. They made such a din that Little Red Riding Hood's father, who had been chopping wood nearby, came to see what was the matter. He killed the wolf. Granny came out of the closet, and the father was overjoyed to see her and his little girl safe. Then they all had bread with honey and apple pie with cream for their lunch. "Come and live at our house," said Little Red Riding Hood's father, "and then we can look after you." Granny was so happy that she quickly got better, and Little Red Riding Hood clapped her hands. They all lived happily ever after. That was really well written. Good little story. Thank you. I'm impressed.